2020, a year etched in the psyche of everyone alive to witness. No one saw it coming, but you were ready. You did not run. You did not waver. You did not back down. You responded. And your response did not go unnoticed.
The 118th Wing of the Tennessee Air National Guard.
The number of tests is going up 4 to 5 times.
The Tennessee Air National Guard have been working nonstop since the tornado ripped through early in March, and then moved right into the COVID-19 response.
2 members from the 118th Wing.
Airmen in Tennessee have been working tirelessly throughout this month, helping with the tornado recovery efforts and fighting COVID-19.
Members of the Tennessee National Guard have provided tornado cleanup, search and rescue assistance, medical supply distributions, chaplain services, COVID-19 testing, and provided nurses to assist where staffing was at critical levels.
Coverage of the 118th in action was broadcast worldwide, spanning 13 countries, 51 states and territories, in 3,700 broadcasts, amassing viewership in the billions.
Ayudarán a prevenir las hospitalizaciones.
Enregistré en 24 heures avec près de 80 000.
Poslední milion nakažených přibyl v zemi za
This year, the 118th ISRG doubled their deployed-in-place combat crews and adapted workspaces to usher mission partners through COVID challenges. They provided cruise missile support for time-sensitive contingency response. They delivered major targeting analysis and strike recommendations to air campaign planners, and they fulfilled both dynamic and deliberate targeting taskings around the world. Here at home, teams provided damage assessment for Nashville and Chattanooga tornadoes, and they provided force protection briefings to our security forces as they defended property against potential civil unrest.
We fight dictators and terrorists overseas, but to fight disasters right here in our own backyard. I mean, we live and serve right here and in our community.
Finally, our resiliency teams brought intel together as they mourned the loss of 3 brilliant leaders. They have honored them by recommitting themselves to their mission, to service, to one another, and to our nation. 2020 pushed Intel. Intel pushed back. Despite the pandemic, despite uncertainty caused by emerging 24th and 25th Air Force, Cyber provided uninterrupted intelligence support to the U.S. offensive cyber operations. Even more, Cyber provided sustained personnel presence to the Joint Adaptive Battle Staff, spanning the 3 crises to provide critical briefings to state leadership. The 118th Operations Group adopted aggressive, contingency-based COVID-19 mitigation procedures to insulate the combat mission and members. To date, the 118th has 0 contact infections and 0 ops-cancelled missions throughout the pandemic. In spite of COVID-19 impacts, the 118th Operations Group surged to full combat capacity, covering AFSOC Reclaimer June 1 through July 31st. In this trying time, mission support lived up to their name in a big way. Our state and the missions on base required heavy lifting. They got it. The ComFlight turned a base tethered to the office into a base operational in a contested environment via telework. They harnessed innovation, spearheading a revamped SharePoint, Ches migration, and live broadcast technology. The security forces have been extremely busy providing personnel for tornado cleanup efforts and support of an emerging Tennessee Department of Corrections mission. Additionally, they maintain professionalism during civil unrest, enabling protesters to exercise First Amendment rights while protecting lives and property from those intent on doing harm. Our civil engineers have been active from the beginning, providing power to state and federal buildings in the form of large capacity generators after tornadoes devastated middle and eastern Tennessee. The Force Support Squadron quickly spun up a team to provide the critical role of COVID screening on base, and they provided personnel to track and account for all military members supporting tornado relief efforts, as well as COVID response personnel. LRS provided essential logistics support to distribute PPE for military personnel use. Additionally, they provided vehicles and operators to support the security forces in their response to civil unrest. Wing staff. Your skill set are vast and your reach is far. Under extreme pressure and turmoil, you provided leadership, the lifeblood of money, the force multiplier of diversity, wise legal counsel, safety of operation, centralized communication, mission compliance, strategic messaging, and last, but certainly not least, you advocated for airmen and their families. Along the lines of airmen advocacy, our chaplain corps has been on orders since the tornadoes.
To support our service members, Tennessee National Guard chaplains have been deployed across the state.
They've traveled some 35,000 miles and have made over 15,000 pastoral contacts to airmen and soldiers serving across the state. At the onset of COVID response, the medical group was split in two, as 50% of their troops were called to fight the pandemic. What would the remaining group do? Would they scale back? Would they stand down? The opposite is true. They embraced a new ethos where 100% customer service was paramount and no was not an answer. They took the base from 50th to 1st in the nation for IMR compliance. They picked up a new UTC. They went from the bottom trained 10% in the country to the top 10%. And for those called to fight the pandemic, they were some of the first to enter nursing homes, protecting our most vulnerable.
The Tennessee National Guard was called in to conduct mass testing. Guard nurses were also sent to help treat patients.
This group, combined with the Tennessee Military Department and other state agencies, administered some 670,000 COVID tests. And they are not done. These airmen continue on orders today, still testing, manning the infectious disease team, and standing in the gap for an embattled hospital industry. Your medical group will get it done. The 118th Wing will get it done. Patriots, take pride in what we've accomplished. We've served our country well. We have answered the call of the Guardsmen. We achieved our federal mission abroad. We protected our friends and family at home. We are always ready. We are always there.